Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. Nithyananda, this is Ma Nithya Shivrupananda from Bengaluru Adinam, Vidadi here Nithyananda Peetham. And I'm here today to share with you about a very interesting topic, sannyas. Now you might wonder, what does a grahastha with 2 kids who's lived around the world, owns properties, likes jewelry, dress up, has to do with sannyas? But the more and more I learn about sannyas, thanks to my Guru, the Avatar, His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda, the more I'm intrigued with it, and the more I am convinced that this is a very viable alternative lifestyle for today that we should understand. And of course, as is in the Hindu tradition, nothing is forced. When you fully understand everything, then you can decide what's right for you. The cognitions that I have developed, the powerful cognitions that I've developed about sannyas, or Brahmacharya, that my Guru, His Divine Holiness, has shared with the world are immense, they're profound, and they're life transforming. For example, my children here in Nithyananda Gurukul are ordained as Krama Brahmacharis and Krama Brahmacharini. Now, what is Krama? Krama is kind of like, I guess you can talk of it as a trial sannyas, or living the vows of sannyas in a period of life which could be very tumultuous for you. As especially a teenager, your body goes through its ups and downs, your hormones run riot on you, and everywhere you look around you, there is the world waiting to mislead you, to misguide you, to take you into maybe situations, into experiences that on hindsight later you would not want, but seem really, really interesting and seem very, very exciting in that moment. We've all been there, whether it is drink or drugs, or whether it is that cute boy in your class, or whatever the modern world has to offer. It is very easy for today's youth to fall into the trap and believe that that is the best experience that they can get at that point of time. Now, what Krama Brahmacharya does is, in this period of time, it protects you from making what might be wrong decisions, what might be impetuous decisions, what might be decisions made not by you but by your hormones which are running riot in your body. When you have Krama Brahmacharya and you are living the vows of sannyas in that formative period of when you are, let's say, 13 to 21, you're living these vows of Brahmacharya or Asteya or Satya. By declaration to society, you are saying, leave me alone. I'm wearing these orange robes, so I am not interested in any girlfriend, boyfriend, in any relationship. I am consolidating myself inside. And when you make that powerful statement, when that bright orange color, the Krama color, makes that powerful statement to the world, you are left alone. Because literally the intelligence, the sanctity, the power of that very color protects you. And Swamiji says very beautifully, there is a time when that milk that you have put a bit of curd into needs to set, isn't it? When for that milk to curdle, you cannot constantly agitate it. For curd to happen, it needs to be left alone for a while. Krama Brahmacharya is that period of sannyas where your body is going through its ups and downs. Your mind is unstable, looking around, trying to find something to stabilize itself. And in that period, you're just leaving yourself alone. Swamiji says very powerfully that any experience that you have in this formative period, between 12 or 14 to 21, it used to be this earlier on, but in today's day, where our kids are maturing faster, it could be very, very early. It could be as early as 8 or 9. So in this period, any experience you have that takes you to your high, it kind of freezes your system into the experience of that high. Now this high, being hormonal, it's not a cognitive shift. It is not a conscious experience you go through, but it's just a high because of your hormones. What it does is it just washes your very system, your very cells, and bolts you to that experience, where again and again now you go about seeking that experience. But every time you have that experience, you realize that 1, it doesn't last, and 2, it isn't enough. So we just go after the wrong things again and again, trying to find that experience happen to us. So in this period, for your whole system to be left alone, where you are consolidating yourself, it is an inner journey you're going through, or it is an inner dialogue that is happening, where there is no external factor having any sort of influence on you. Very soon, by the time you're 21, you then come to that inner knowledge. There's nothing right or wrong about it. Maybe after these years of seeking, these years of introspection, you come to the decision that, okay, I am gay, or I'm not straight, or I'm a lesbian. It doesn't matter. In Hinduism, where we recognize 11 genders, everything is okay as long as it's a conscious decision process you have that's leading you to ultimately Paramashiva. So in this beautiful space where nothing's right or wrong, and every situation, every opportunity is given to you to discover what it is you want, Swamiji also shares very beautifully how the Varna system, which has been so bastardized today as the caste system, was such a beautiful way for us to go through these hormonal tendencies. When you first take birth, and you need to do a lot of physical work, or maybe you need to experience very body-based sensations, because it's the first few times that you're in the body. You need to feel, you need to touch, you need to experience the material world. But soon after you go through that, many times you realize that you want to get subtler and subtler, and that is when you start to see it's things like power in terms of Kshatriya then starts to feed you, starts to energize you. Or maybe as a Brahmana, it is the knowledge, the jnana that starts to feed you. Or if you go even beyond that, when you become a Shaivite, you realize it is that space of Advaita, that space of oneness that you experience with Paramashiva, that will give you all the fuel you need. Swamiji has shared about, ultimately it comes down to the consolidation that happened. Swamiji said something really interesting in the last couple of satsangs, which may seem unrelated, but I want to bring up out here. He said the time that humanity decided to eat rice, eat starch-based solutions, that is what led to the breakthrough. Until then, when we were eating high protein or meat, the whole system was busy with digesting that, with processing that, with internalizing that. Now, when the load on that system reduced, when suddenly your stomach didn't have to think about digesting that meat or that protein anymore, and all those resources are available to run to your brain and develop those subtle grooves that you can use to have that superconscious experience, that experience of oneness with Sadashiva. Even in today's world, whether it is the fasting that that Hinduism prescribes, it's about consolidating yourself, taking you away from these experiences that take you again and again back into your body, and away from the subtle experiences that your brain is pre-programmed to experience. So sannyas is also that kind of a decision where, especially Krama Brahmacharya, you say that the tyaga, which may be mistranslated as sacrifice, or you shun these kind of worldly pleasures, because you know there is something bigger, more beautiful, more deep waiting for you, and that is that space of oneness with Paramashiva. That is that space of realization that you are Paramashiva, that his space, his powers, his state, his very being is you, and that's what starts to flower in you. And for this experience to happen, consolidation is necessary. Whether that consolidation isn't something as simple as fasting for a day, or whether it is in terms of abstinence, for your body, for your sexual activities, or whether it is in terms of literally being completely focused and receiving the jnana that will again and again fire the right things in you, again and again fire the right remembrances in you. When this happens often enough, it is just that little bit of effort that you're doing, and Paramashiva, he's waiting there to give you this experience. He's just wanting for you to turn, take one step towards him, and he can make this powerful experience a huge reality for you. This can now be that space that you are actually bolted in, manifesting powers, and then you just become that beautiful channel through which more and more people start to experience this. So that is what I had to share about sannyas. That is why, although I'm a grihastha, I'm such a big believer in sannyas. And that is why I'm very proud to say that my two kids that study in Nithyananda Gurukul are Krama Brahmacharyas, because I know I'm doing the best thing for them when they wear that orange garb and they stand up to their highest possibility and they make themselves completely available to Paramashiva, so that the highest experiences can be awakened in them. So thank you for tuning in. After a long time I'm making this video. I hope you make more and more of these. If you have any comments, you can drop them down in the box below in Facebook, and I look forward to hearing from you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sadgurupada Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.